chasing the rabbit so you don't have to. Prepper Guy and Big D have joined forces to dig into the issues. Here they are, the two crazy guys.
Alrighty, hey, we're back. It's another week, and we are back again. You're listening to the Contra Radio Network and KYAH 540 AM, Utah's Talk Authority. My name is Donald Lowry, a.k.a. Big D, and I also have here with me Mark Boyle, a.k.a. the Prepper Guy. What's up, big boy?
What's up? It's raining. It's been raining all day, which is nice because now I can't be outside working.
I love it. I love the rain. It reminds me of the tropics. I love it.
Yeah. It's like driving around. We have actually had fog this morning, so it's like driving around through the English countryside there. It's like right up until it burns off and you realize it's still Arizona.
So big news is happening. We are launching the Contra Radio Network, radio streaming network. We are going to launch forward, and Mark is working on the web diligently on the website and getting all of those ducks in a row. And I'm working licensing and getting all the music and all that lined up and taking care of all of that, making sure we have all the correct metadata and all of that. And John's working on sponsors, and we've just been a busy bunch of little beavers over here. Well, I don't know about beavers, but we've been busy anyway. And so if you want more information, you can log on to ContraRadioNetwork.com. You'll find some more pages on there that'll give you more information. But if you are a content provider, meaning that if you provide content, if you're a podcaster, we'd like to have you come on board the network with us. And we've got some packages that are sure to make you scream. Very, very cost effective. When I say scream, I mean scream in a good way, like, oh my God, how can they do that?
Screams of joy.
And we're also looking for sponsors. If you care to come on board the network, we'll cut you a really good deal on a sponsorship. And here's the thing, if you come in as one of the founders, then when the prices go up as the network grows, your rates will stay the same at the founding rates, and they will not increase.
That's right. And now I have a question. I did send you that link. Haven't got all the pages working synergetically together yet, but we can. There is a form where people can fill out and give us a little information. It's not a commitment form, to where we know how to find them, and get a feel for who they are and how we can help.
Yeah, what you can do is go. You can log on right now. You can log on to ContraRadioNetwork.com/join, and there's a little bit of information there, and there's a form on there. And what the form that Mark is talking about is it's an information form. You can fill it out. It does not mean that you are on
board or anything.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that you're what's the word I'm looking for, Mark? That you're committing. To a program. It just lets us know that, hey, there's somebody that's interested, and we can start working with you to get you on board. We have lots of slots open right now. You can pretty much name the time that you want your program to be on. Just log on to ContraRadioNetwork.com/join and fill out that form. Let us know that you're interested.
Now the schedule is going to work with, say somebody is very plurific, or whatever that big word is that I just had a cramp and can't figure it out. And they want to do their podcast or a show every day. We can plug that in, right?
Every single day.
Or it could be weekly, and then we're going to have replays throughout the week and all that.
That's correct. Until we fill those slots. What'll happen is, like somebody like you and I, our programs, this program, the Two Crazy Guys, let's just say, for instance, okay, the Two Crazy Guys are going to be on Contra Radio Network Saturdays at noon. So every Saturday at noon, this program will be on the Contra Radio Network. And then probably have a rebroadcast a couple of times during the week, maybe on like a Tuesday and a Thursday. Right. At that same time or at a different time, whatever time. We haven't talked about times or anything yet. But we can definitely I can, I'll be the engineer. I'll be the engineer behind the whole thing, making the shows happen. Behind the scenes. But we will make it happen on the hour or on the half hour or whenever. We're looking for weekly programmers that want to come on and have a weekly show, a 1 hour, 2 hour, or up to 3 hour show. If you want a 4 hour show, that's up to you. All you got to do is pay for the airtime and you're on. Right. We're also looking for people that are looking for half hour programs. What we can do is we can do 50 cents a minute, I think is what we committed to for that, if you want to do that for a 30-minute program. And then, so you can do a half-hour show, you can do an hour show, you can do a 2-hour show, you can do a 3-hour show, you can do a daily show, a weekly show, a bi-weekly show. We'll work with you, whatever you want to do, we'll make it happen.
Well, tell our listeners now, when you say 50 cents a minute, I'm thinking, oh my God, that's, a lot of money. But that's for the one show that'll run all week. And is that a monthly?
Well, all right. So figure it this way. All right. If you were to do a 50 cents per minute, okay, for a 30-minute program. So if you did $1 a minute, that's $30 a minute. That's $30 for a half hour. Okay. If you were to do, so what's 50 cents? What's half of that? 50 cents is $15 for a half hour program. There is nowhere else that I know of out there that will let you have a radio program streamed on their network for $15.
Right.
It's unheard of.
No.
Okay. And so you can have a 30-minute show. It'll cost you $15. And if you want to do a 30-minute show once a week or every other week, that's up to you. I mean, if you want to do it daily, if you want to do a daily 30-minute program, I mean, we'll work with you on cost. We'll probably be able to do a reduced cost if you wanted to do a 5-day-a-week program or something like that.
So then it becomes like a monthly thing. Then it's like I pay this much a month, but I get 4 shows that are X amount of time long once a week, and then they're replayed and rebroadcast. And then plus with the rebroadcast, if you don't get a chance to go online and listen to it, at CRN, they're all going to be archived on Country Radio Network or CRN Podbean account too, right? Once they go live,
yes,
then
they will. So here's the way that's going to work. I'm going to just say that if you wanted to do a once-a-week program for $15 a week, that's $60 a month. Mm-hmm. Okay. Or if you wanted to do a bi-weekly program, that's $30 a month.
Right.
Okay. Now, that's, in my opinion, very, very affordable. $30 a month airtime, or $30 airtime, $15 up for a half hour airtime is very, very cheap. And what happens is if you stream on the network, any program that joins the Contra Radio Network streaming service, which will be on the Live 365 platform, heard worldwide on the web, then you will also be included in the hosting on the ContraRadioNetwork.podbean.com page. So you will have your podcast streamed on the Contra Radio Network streaming service, as well as an archived version uploaded to our podcast hosting server. Okay?
So a person like me, let's say, if I didn't want to have, podcast hosting,
right,
I sign up with you guys. Now I have the hosting.
That's right.
I can still share that and get the attention from my podcast, from CRN, from everywhere else it's going. So you're really, as a lot of media experts will tell you, it's all about the attention.
Right.
And if you're not getting attention, then it's like you're not there.
Now,
so this is another vehicle where you get not only your hosting, but you get a lot of juice from, what CRN does, and the Facebook and everything is handled over there where we're pushing the show, which you're part of.
Right. Now, the other thing is everybody that's on the streaming service will also get a profile page on ContraRadioNetwork.com where they can also have their advertisers or their sponsors, they can have links, affiliate links to affiliate programs, whatever they want. Okay, that's another added bonus. This is if you come on board to the streaming service. Now, if you don't, let's say you don't want to come on the streaming service. Let's say you can't afford to do, even though I think everybody can afford $15 for a 30-minute show. But let's say or $60 a month. Let's say you just wanted to you wanted to get your podcast hosted somewhere. We will put you on the Contra Radio Network's podcast hosting for $10 a month.
Right.
Okay.
And then you're part of the lineup as far as Podbean goes.
And there's always an archived version of that there on the service. You can do a video podcast if you want that can be hosted there. Okay. For $10 a month. Plus that also our Contra Radio Network is the Contra Radio Network Podbean service reaches iTunes, it reaches Google Play, it reaches iHeartRadio, it reaches Stitcher, it reaches TuneIn, it reaches radio.net. I mean, it's out there, it's everywhere. And the Contra Radio Network, what was the last, I forgot to look at the last statistics, but isn't it up there like 37,000 downloads or something like that, Mark?
Yeah, they're pretty high. John's been in it for quite a while. Started with Blog Talk Radio and had a lot of great guests and had a lot of success. And then he switched it to CRN, Contra Radio Network. So with that,
37,263 downloads so far and counting on the Contra Radio Network.
Yeah, and then with having a web page, for a podcaster, in my opinion, you might be really good at audio and be an audiophile and put out a really good show, and you spend all your time researching your podcast and getting your show notes and all that. Now you got to learn how to build a website.
Right.
And so all this becomes more hats you have to wear.
Right.
To where we're gonna put you right there, on a page that you can put in your podcast. You just say, go over here, Contra Radio Network / my show.
XXX, my show.
And when they go there, that's your page.
Right.
That is all about you.
Right.
And you can have an intro video or an image. You got sidebar links when they're listening to something that you've put together or written an article or your show notes. When they click on that page it takes them to is going to have your sidebar with your affiliate links. And really, affiliate links is really the only way you can make money with monetizing a podcast. It's very hard. Right. So your sponsors, you could have your sponsors on there, my show is sponsored by, whatever knife company.
Hey, speaking of sponsors, Mark,
we got to go talk to some of them.
We got to let some of them pop in here. So
don't go away. We'll be back.
Let's talk about tea. Not just any tea, getthetea.com. They have all kinds of cool stuff. They have cleansing teas, they have stuff for eye health, stuff from the sea, immune support, stamina and energy, food and protein, and just all kinds of cool stuff. Log on to the website at www.getthetea.com. Log on now.
Talking the issues and taking the hit. The two crazy guys.
Catch the two crazy guys right here on Contra Radio Network, Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Okay, we're back. Hey, listen, I really do want to give a shout out to those people over at getthetea.com. They've been with us, Mark, pretty much I think since I came on to this program.
Yeah.
And they've been with me on the Conservative Underground, and we're bringing them over to Contra Radio Network with us. Fabulous people, man. Fabulous people. I have had, several communications with them and with their marketing director, and the owner is just it's just all around good people, man. If you're looking for, and I just can't say enough good, if you're looking for, a good product, they have a ton of product over on their website. and really good people, man. Log on to getthetea.com. Get yourself some of that tea. It's not just like any ordinary tea. It's specially formulated, a lot of natural stuff in there. Just really good. I've been taking the product for a while, and I can't speak nothing but volumes for it. So they send me product every month, Mark. Every month they send me product, and it's just amazing, the communications. Every time I communicate with them, they're right back to me. Very open, very direct, and they're excited. Because I told them what we were doing with the network, and they're very excited, and they're excited. They're happy to be a part of what we're doing, and us be a part of what they're doing. And it's a really good relationship. I can't speak volumes. I can't say enough good about them. Go over to getthetea.com. Do that now.
Do it now.
All right.
Right.
I had to do that shameless plug, even though we heard their commercial.
Well, it wasn't too shameless because it's not really an advertisement. You're just saying, hey, they're good people and they're coming with us.
Yeah, and we're taking them with us. We got a relationship with them. They're coming aboard, man.
Well, did we figure out, speaking of the new CRN Broadcasting, are they going to be doing a show? Are they going to?
They don't do a show now. They don't have anybody that does that. But if they do, and they're also going to pass the news on that if there's any, health and wellness related shows that they know of, they're definitely going to send them our way. So,
because, if there's an advertiser listening out there, and you don't really feel like spending the massive amounts of money on advertising and YouTube and stuff like that, if you produce a show for, like you said, $15 for a 30-minute program that you talk about not so much you and your product, but just how your product is and what you guys do, like a whitewater paper or, things like that. Not so much a news, what do they call it, press release.
Right.
But you talk about your people and what you do and how you help your employees, and you just kind of build it like a community thing. That's some great advertising, and it really works because.
For instance, all right. So, for instance, there's a what is that food storage company up there in that area up there in the Delta area?
Oh, for like the Mormon church?
No, there's a prep food storage place
like
up there.
I think Weiss Food.
It's one of them.
Yeah, there's actually quite a couple of them.
I think it's Valley Forge or Valley something or other.
Right.
Anyway, they could, for instance, they could come on and they could talk about food storage. They could talk about, the benefits of having prepped food, stored food for a crisis or something like that. They could have a program. They could have one of their marketing directors or something do a program, talk about the different products that they have, and
how you use them, how to recipes.
Exactly, and they could come on for $30 or $15.
Right, and that's cheap, and they really need to, if they're not making it like a infomercial, but an informative, show about, how dehydrated food lasts so long, the benefit of it, and how they use it in their lives, and that's what got them into the business and all this. It's great PR, and for $15, you can't buy that. You can't even buy a Facebook ad for $15.
And two, not just that, but you could, let's say you had a program that was health and wellness, or a program about prepping, or we're open to all of them. We're open to, home improvement. If you want to come on and talk about gunsmithing, or you want to come on and you want to have a program about, I don't care, the WWF, wrestling,
right.
Whatever you want, as long as it's not violent or hate related or illegal in any way, shape, or form. Right. I'm sure we don't want people coming on talking about getting high and smoking bongs and stuff.
No,
but
that's for Colorado. They got their own market.
Right. But if you wanted to come on, if you wanted to have a weekly home improvement program, you're welcome to have a 30-minute program, or you're welcome to have a 1-hour program. And let me tell you something, 1 hour goes quick. It goes quick.
Yeah, we've learned that the hard way by going over and getting yelled at a few times.
Yeah, it goes quick. We're already almost halfway through the second segment of the program, and we haven't even gotten out everything we want to say yet.
Right. Well, and the nice thing about just the podcast, hosting part of it, if they didn't want to have a show on the radio, you can put your videos on there.
Right.
Without the harassment from YouTube and
because we're not going to censor
police and stuff like that, to where, and then Podbean will automatically turn that into an audio YouTube video and put it on your YouTube channel, which is now audio for a show or a podcast, or to put out there in so many ways. If you look into content marketing, you see that there's just a million ways to use this information in these files that would really help you. But if it's a show you want to do for, like you said, 30 minutes once a month, just a really good gunsmithing thing about whatever gunsmiths talk about, there's a lot of people that want to hear about it.
Even twice a month. Look, so $30. Look, $30 a month. Here's what $30 a month is going to get you if you want to do a bi-weekly program. $30 a month will get you streamed on the Contra Radio Network streaming server. It's going to get you hosted on our podcast hosting service. It's going to get you a profile page on the Contra Radio Network that you will be able to use in order to monetize your podcast, put affiliate links, put advertisers in there, whatever you want to do. Right. It's going to get you that. And so, for $30 a month, you're not going to find that anywhere else.
No, you're not.
You're not.
And you're actually working with the, I guess you could call it like the corporate mantle of CRN that's got, a good bunch of listeners and subscribers that have been around for years that are into that type of content.
Right.
So you're actually affiliated with somebody that, is in the same type of genre or niche that you are.
Right.
That brings that with you. It doesn't limit you, because you could still continue to do everything you've been doing. But now you're also affiliated with, CRN Broadcasting.
Yeah. Plus you're going to get out there. Plus you're going to be on iHeartRadio. You're going to be on iTunes. You're going to be in Google Play. You're going to be on Stitcher Radio. You're going to be on radio.net, TuneIn, all these other services out there. Plus the added benefit of, John in the Contra Radio Network on Facebook promotes all of the programs on there as well. And that's got another, big, large audience there as well.
Well, and then we've had guests on our show, like Terry Cass and stuff, and John Jeffers. And so you're kind of networking with a group of people that are broadcasting and doing stuff, which would be more than fine. If you got a good show and you want to talk a little bit, we might want to interview you. John might want to interview you.
We could even pull you in, if you wanted to. We could even, before your program starts, we could even pull you in, and put you out there on all of our programs and, talk about the new upcoming program that you're doing. There's so much we can do. We're so flexible, and we're going to be able to offer you so much for so little. Yeah. And
you're part of a good team, because John really cares. He knows what he knows and how to do what he does. You got the marketing as far as radio experience and the broadcasting aspect of it. I bring along the web and just insanity on all levels.
See, we all have, everybody here, we're a team, and each person of the team has something to do, and we're all good, really good at what it is that we do. Right. And together, the three of us together make an incredible team that is right now, this is a ground floor opportunity for those of you who want to get in on something on the ground floor and get your rates locked in at a massive discount from what we're going to be offering when things start picking up.
Right. Once we start getting our news briefings going on Alexa and get that skill, which is just a few days away, really.
Right.
That'll be part of this stream. Right. We'll have the Alexa podcast and stuff, which it'll be going out to millions and millions. I can't remember how many Echo devices there are out there. I mean, they got 70-80% of the voice market.
Yeah. So see, we've tapped in. We have tapped in to this market, and we're just looking for content providers who want to go along for the ride, because I assure you, this is going to be a ride that you will not soon forget.
Well, speaking of crazy rides, we're all very conservative. We're not afraid of the thought police and challenging any snowflakes out there and stuff. And that's why we talk about conservative things, not so much today, but we're going to talk about these stupid impeachment proceedings probably in the next segment.
Yep.
John's very conservative. He's, none of us are afraid to battle with the snowflake world and Antifa or take on anything that's bugging people.
Right.
Like you said, as long as it's not hate speech or you're trying to incite a riot, it's game. Gun safety is a great subject for people. Yeah. And kids need to learn this.
Absolutely.
And our audience is young.
We are going to have to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about the nonsense that the liberal left is doing. It's a diversion tactic. We're going to talk about the diversion tactic when we come back. So don't go away.
Talking the issues and taking the hit. The two crazy guys.
Catch the two crazy guys right here on Contra Radio Network, Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Alrighty, welcome back for segment 3 of today's program on the Contra Radio Network and KYAH 540 AM. Listen, Mark, impeachment. The word impeachment is back.
Oh, the I word. Yeah,
this time they're trying to impeach Donald Trump for something that Joe Biden did.
Yeah, fill me in on how does that work exactly? Because if we're gonna go after the sins of the last vice president, that's just ridiculous. I mean,
well, you know what this is? The whole thing. The whole thing is all about Donald Trump's communication and this whole whistleblower thing. And so the Dems have launched the impeachment. Trump has released the transcript. First of all, how can you launch impeachment when you don't even know what the phone call was about?
Well, and it's never been backed up. There's no evidence there, again. But all of the lamestream media is sitting there when we're talking about Joe Biden's son and some of those shady deals that went on with the oil industry and stuff. NBC and CBS and then all of the alphabet soup in the media are sitting there going, well, there's no proof. This is just an allegation, and turn right around and say we need to impeach Trump for pie in the sky dreams. I don't get it.
Well,
but Joe Biden is Joe Biden. He's going to blame anybody.
So they're saying again, that he has sought help from a foreign government for his reelection. So we're back into the collusion thing again, Mark.
Yeah, and well, the one soundbite I heard was that Donald Trump had asked some Russia about digging up dirt on Joe Biden. Now I'm thinking Joe Biden wasn't part of the election back then, so how would that even affect the election outcome? I mean, you'd be talking about the guy that's on the way out. But I guess there's other allegations that they'll continue to make up as time goes along.
Well, of course, it's every day. There's always going to be something.
But here's
Look.
Obama
Big collusion.
whispering to that guy on a hot mic saying, once the election's over, I'll have more latitude to work with Putin.
Well,
Crickets.
but so the whole thing is, first it was collusion with the Russians during the 2016 election. Okay, that was a big didn't work. Then it was going to be Mueller. Mueller was going to be the one to do it, and we were going to get to impeach him because of Mueller. Mueller had evidence; he had all the proof and everything. That was another didn't do anything. So now we're back on this thing where it's, call it what you want, but it's collusion is what it is. They're saying that he has conspired with a foreign government to get help in his reelection. They didn't even have transcripts of the phone call. Nobody knew what was even in the phone call except for this quote whistleblower unquote.
Hearsay evidence.
Trump has finally today, Trump just released the transcripts from the call. So, I haven't had a chance to go through that yet, but
well, you'll find nothing.
Biden with the Ukrainians
used our tax dollars in the form of aid to get the prosecutor fired that was prosecuting his son. In I think it was in the Ukraine or somewhere like that, one of those oil companies. That's our tax dollars. Biden's no longer in business, but as far as vice president, but that's something he did while he was vice president. So we have collusion all over the place. Obama telling Russians when he's elected he'll have more latitude, which is actual collusion.
Right.
And we're focused on possible alleged collusion.
Right.
It boggles my mind, and to listen to the lamestream media, you would think they got the smoking gun on everything they talk about, except Biden and Hillary and everything else.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know why we haven't moved forward with that.
Because the Just Us department doesn't see. Barr's probably a good guy, and I'm sure he's going through the process, which takes some time. But it seems like when there's something really they could go after that would have some teeth in it that they could sink their teeth into, nothing. Or maybe we're not hearing anything because the majority of the media is just not talking about it.
So I want to be clear, the help that they're saying he solicited, what they're basically saying is that so Trump had a phone call with Ukraine, the Ukrainian government, that mentioned Joe Biden. And basically the Democrats want to know what was said in that phone call. They want to know what specifically Trump talked about Joe Biden and his son Hunter that took place a couple of years ago.
Right.
And so what they're saying is that Donald Trump is trying to get the Ukrainian government to spill dirt on the Bidens so that he can use it in his political campaign.
Oh, yeah, because Biden's such a threat.
That's what this is. Well, Joe Biden's not even going to get the stinking nomination.
Right. Well, and there was a news clip of Biden actually bragging about the fact that he had forced the government of Ukraine to fire this prosecutor that was looking into Hunter Biden with the foreign aid, just basically saying, well, if this doesn't happen, you don't get the foreign aid. And so what would be wrong with Trump calling and going, hey, can we get some transcripts and some information on this? Because this is a legal issue that we need to work on. Has nothing to do with the fact that the clown, Joe Biden, is running for president or not. It was a crime committed years ago.
Here's what's going to happen.
It's going to blow up in the Democrats' face again.
It's going to blow up big.
Right.
Big. This is going to be the biggest frickin' clown show that the Democrats have ever seen. And what they've done is they have just launched the demise of their party.
Yeah, because if they push this, and if he's already released the transcripts, which probably say the same thing Biden has said, and admitted to through his bragging, then it really is going to hang them. He's given them enough rope to hang themselves, and they just continue to jump off the podium and get hung. But we don't hear about it because 90-some% of the news is from the lamestream. And, you're not going to get Democrats to listen to common sense or reason. So that's kind of where we are as a nation. But it's interesting. It's always interesting.
I want to know when the swamp is going to get drained.
I don't think you can drain it because it's, kind of like the Panama Canal. It's just the tide waters are higher on this side than this side, so it's always going to run. And the swamp is always going to be full. And I don't think any one person can drain 200 years of swamp. Could shoot a lot of alligators, though. Shoot them. Shoot them. I love that show. But
so that's what's going to happen is they're going to hang themselves.
Yeah. Well, and
this is and even if it does go to the Senate's going to quash it. It has to be presided over by the Supreme Court justice.
Right.
Come on, people.
Well, a lot of these congressmen and women are from red states that barely eke themselves in because, back in 2016, people were discouraged with a lot of stuff. And these newcomers came in and said, hey, I'm new, I'm young, I'm fresh. And so they're shooting themselves in the foot because we are moving more toward common sense. And I'm not going to say conservative because then that freaks people out. They tune out. But we're swinging, the pendulum is swinging back more toward, we don't want to destroy America. We like the economy being good. We like jobs being the way they are. We like things as they are. This person is doing the right thing, and you're fighting against him. So as a congressperson, you could really be, shooting yourself or hanging yourself because they're not going to get reelected. I don't think Ocasio-Cortez, or whatever her name is, AOC, occasionally coherent, is going to get reelected if she keeps it up. It's just unless people have just tuned out and became brain dead, and I didn't notice.
This is what's going to be funny. I want to see these transcripts of this call.
Yeah, and the guy this leaker, this whistleblower,
yeah,
has admitted already that he was not in the room.
Well, he's going to testify before Congress. He's scheduled to come before Congress.
Congress, the People's Court. So it's like
the freaking clown show.
I heard somebody tell me that Don was on a phone call with Rush, and he was trying to undermine CRN. Where'd you hear that? I heard it somewhere. Well, let's have a congressional hearing so you can continue to spew your theory that's not based in fact at all, just so we got some more, mainstream coverage. Just keep that fire going, and then when it burns out, we'll put that aside, like, collusion, like Russia, like recession, like everything else has gone by the wayside. What are you going to do?
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go to a break.
Oh, well, that's an answer.
We'll be back right after this, so don't go away.
We interrupt your programming. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow.
This tornado just touched down. Well, we can see it from anything in its sight. If you're above ground,
Hi, this is John Jeffers. Join me for the Jeffers Brief, right here on the Contra Radio Network.
Catch the Jeffers Brief Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on the Contra Radio Network.
Alrighty, we are back for the final segment of today's program right here on the Contra Radio Network and KYAH 540 AM on the AM dial. We just talked a little bit about the whole shenanigans of impeachment. What a joke. These people, man, they're going to hang themselves, Mark.
Well, you know what? It's, as an American, not going to say Republican, Democrat, conservative, whatever. As an American, watching the media, 99% of it, is like drama. You know how drama will bring you down, and people will sit there and go, I'm not going to join that gym or go to that place because of all of this drama. And it works you up into a frenzy, but most of it is just drama. It's right. Not real.
No.
And so they're really, maybe it's a strategy just to wear us out with so much drama.
Well, here's what's up. This is just a ploy to energize the base. That's all it is. Because remember, you have these people sitting in their chairs eating Oreo cookies, listening to Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh and the Contra Radio Network and all these other networks out there, these conservative talk networks, and they're listening to see if anybody slips up and makes a mistake so that they can get them taken off the air.
That's pretty disparaging to Oreo cookies, I just want you to know.
Okay, mud pies, how's that?
There you go.
Eating mud pies and drinking milk in their skivvies, watching TV in the recliner.
In their parents' basement.
Yeah. And, they've been every day, after day, after day, for the last, 3.5 years now, been told, 3 years now, been told that they're going to impeach Trump. Every single day.
Right.
They've been fed this line. This is the beginning of the end for Trump. This is the beginning of the end for Trump. We're going to impeach Donald Trump. We're going to impeach Donald Trump. And every day they've had their hearts broken. And now, here we are, moving forward with impeachment, even though we don't have grounds. We have nothing to stand on. It's just a move. It's a ploy to energize the base.
Well, you got a CDL, right? Commercial
Yes.
Truck driver's license.
Yes.
Have you ever ridden with somebody, wives included, that are just so always watching everything, and then they're like, are you going to stop? Light's green, time to go. You didn't signal, you didn't do this. And even though you're a professional driver, eventually you start second guessing your driving ability. It makes you really uncomfortable. And as just a normal driver that doesn't have a CDL, after a while, it's like, why don't you drive? And this seems like what these people sitting in their basements, waiting for a slip up and constantly going, you said the instead of they or whatever. And it really puts you off your game. Now, Trump is really good at moving along because he has this agenda and what he doesn't get bogged down with that. But as an American, you just constantly, it's like a backseat full of, expert drivers that have never driven a car ever, telling you, you should have stopped. Why'd you do this? You ran that light. You didn't turn right. You turned too wide. You turned too narrow. You hit the curb. And then pretty soon you're just watching everything so you don't get anything from the cheap seats back there.
Right.
And so that's how, it almost feels when you just sit here and absorb this crap. You're like, holy crap. But I think you're right. It's just these people that just, they're paid, a lot of them, to just sit there, just like the paparazzi of voice, to catch every little thing, that could be used to make the other person look stupid, look bad, look uneducated.
Well, Trump is really good about giving people a noose and letting them have enough rope to hang themselves. And
Yeah.
I think they have done so. I think they have just hung themselves.
I think Trump is actually a genius when it comes to not only giving them enough rope, but actually convincing them to weave it themselves. He just plays them constantly, and he responds to everything, and you're thinking, geez, why is he always responding to this? But if you really understand what he's doing, he's just reeling out more rope for them.
Right.
Right. And people get discouraged about it. I think his tweets are great. I don't really care. I mean, it's the soapbox of 100 years ago where you drug your soapbox out into the city park and you started saying, I'm running for this, I'm going to do that. And he's got the ear of the American people, those that care.
All I want, Mark, I want to see the swamp get drained.
Yeah. Rather than drain it, why don't we just pick it up and move it? Not the swamp, but like politics, get them more local. That's where it should be anyway.
That's where it should be.
To where it just dries out because there's no more rain. It's just move your concern to where it really matters, the local people that can really put a hurt on you. And let Washington sink or shoot alligators or whatever they're doing. I just focus on Trump and what he's trying to do. And all the talking heads, if I really want to know what my congressman's thinking, I'll listen to a town meeting when he shows up and talks to me.
Right.
Because what do I care what some congressman from another district in another state has to say about anything in my life?
Right.
So maybe we just dry the swamp out, forget draining it, because that water's got to go somewhere.
Well, all I want to see, I want to see the criminals brought to justice. I want to know why Hillary Clinton got away with what she got away with. I want to know why Barack Obama got away with what he got away with. I want to know why Trump has done nothing wrong, and every day it's impeach the president, impeach
Right.
the president.
Yeah, and that's part of that drama. It's just like keep the feedback loop going.
Just, man, it drives me nuts, Mark.
Yeah, because I don't think we'll ever understand why Hillary didn't get nailed over Benghazi or Uranium One, all these things. Even the Clintons, when Bill Clinton was president, sold all of our nuclear secrets to China, pocketed that money. It didn't go into this, Department of Education.
Right.
For all of the testing we had done since we invented the atom bomb. It's like, here's the blueprints.
Yeah.
They just, it makes you wonder how, it's kind of like the school jock can do no wrong because he's the quarterback and no one cares. I mean, we care, the American people, but yeah, I don't think we'll ever know why. I think Trump and Barr are actually trying without looking like dictators, which would be the next, treason and dictators, Russia.
Well, I got to say that I'm a little disappointed because I really thought that Billy Barr was going to raise the bar, so to say. I really thought, man, there for a while I was really excited because I really thought the man was going to open up the whole can of worms.
I read an article years ago from, I think it used to be Success Magazine, a long time ago. And they had hired a guy in Washington as a liaison, on business and entrepreneurs, because he was a self-made millionaire and entrepreneur. And he said, if you really want to know what America is thinking, he goes, you look at Washington because they're all responding to what we're saying minute to minute. And so I think that maybe Barr and Trump really don't understand the tide that they have, or the wind in their back, to where if they just threw Hillary in jail, they might be thinking, oh my God, the crap storm that would come from that, we couldn't, survive. But the reality is,
I guarantee you, if Hillary Clinton got put in jail, Donald Trump would win by a landslide.
Yeah. But I think it's this external forces that they perceive to be a bad thing. because the media continues to, keep the feedback going so loud. But I think if Barr and them really realized that even conservatives would like to see, not just conservatives, but liberals and Democrats would like to see Hillary go to jail for some of these crimes. I mean, I've met a lot of them.
Not even necessarily go to jail, just an indictment, even just an indictment to bring her forth and make her testify.
Yeah, just something that says, we caught you. You're wrong. You can't run for this office or that office. It's treason, but we're not going to hang you or put you in prison because you're old. But at least let the American people know that something went on and they were caught.
And we caught you, and you're guilty, and you're done.
Right. Because that's the whole thing when you're in court, right? The judge wants to see some, feeling of, what's the word, that you feel bad about it, about what you did. Now, if you're innocent and you're saying you're innocent, then that's different. But once it's sentencing time, if you don't have any remorse for what you did, then it's going to be far worse. I would like to at least see some of these people show a little remorse that they screwed us. Yeah. I'm with you. I don't really care if she goes to jail. I would just like for everyone in America to go, she was wrong. She broke the law and she got caught. Right.
Because you do know that if they catch her, if they nail her, every one of them is going down.
Yeah, and it's just, to me, it's this blatant lack of remorse or even concern about their actions. Yeah, they're almost indignant about it, like they're above.
Almost like, yeah, I did it. Piss off. What are you going to do about it?
Right. Like that gal from the IRS. What was her name? That was, admitted that she had, kept conservative groups from getting a 501c3.
Oh, yeah.
No remorse.
No.
And then when they questioned her, she just took the fifth, which she really, in a lot of cases, didn't have the right to do.
Right.
And now she's probably working in Washington making twice the money.
Probably.
Where is the remorse? Because I screw up. I'm married, so I get chewed out. But, I think as Americans, we'd like to see somebody get their hand slapped.
Yeah.
Once. You wrap it up. Give me some words of wisdom there, Don.
Well, I don't know. We're going to wrap it up because we got about a minute left. And all I'm saying is that, if we could just see some indictments start to happen, and start holding these people accountable, these clowns, these morons. We're out here going to try to impeach the president based on grounds that don't even exist, based on somebody that said, I heard Trump was on the phone call with Ukraine.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little light at the end of a very dark tunnel.
Yeah.
Not a lot. Like you said, an indictment would just be a nice thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not going to happen.
We're going to have to wait until next week to see what happens, guys, because we're out of time.
Oh, well.
We have to wrap up the show.
Well, I hate wrapping up the show.
But remember, log on to ContraRadioNetwork.com/join. Fill out that form there. Let us know what you want, what you're thinking. If you want to come on the network, we're more than willing to work with you. So we're gonna get out of here, but we'll be back next week. Same trouble time, same trouble place. You know the deal. Until then, thanks for listening and stay safe.
Adios, y'all.
Thanks for tuning in. Catch them next time as they dig into the issues. The two crazy guys. Log on to the website at www.contraradionetwork.com.